Hi, everyone, and welcome to episode 107 of the Veterinary Behaviour Chat. And today we've got another 15-minute speed coaching sessions, which literally are, I think, my new favourite episode to do. They're so much fun. And we're joined by the lovely Hayley Rees today. So we're going to start off by Hayley introducing herself, letting us know a little bit what she does, and then we're going to move on to the question. And as soon as we do that, I'm going to press the timer so we don't go over our 15 minutes. Hi, Hayley, welcome.
Hi, Catherine.
So lovely to have you here with us. Let me know a little bit about yourself. Tell us what you do and a little bit about how we know each other.
Okay, so my name's Hayley Rees and I run Behave with Hayley dog behaviour training. So I'm in Wales in the UK and I have been running my own business for a couple of years. I work across a lot of different dog behaviours, and I work with puppies. I love doing a lot of preventative work to try and, get that information into owners as early as possible, so I don't have to see them the other side when things have become a real problem. So so I basically started fangirling you months and months and months ago. I can't even remember how I heard about Trinity, but it was mentioned on something, and I started listening to all your podcasts and I was just lapping it all up, and I was like, oh my God, I love this woman. And then I had a case, so a lovely rescue dog from Thailand, and a very, very difficult case. I liaised with the vet and we started the dog on medication. We added in a supplementary medication, and then I just started, we weren't seeing the changes that I wanted, and I just thought I need more eyes on this, and I knew exactly whose eyes I wanted on it, and that was yours. So so that's how obviously I got you involved and tapped into your in-depth knowledge on veterinary medication and made a few tweaks, and things are progressing in the right direction. So so I'm really delighted, and of course you came up with a medication that I had only just heard of somewhere along the line, but had no experience and sort of no real knowledge about it. Now I do, obviously, but that was something that was it was way out of my knowledge remit. So I was so pleased to get your expertise on the case. So that's how we know each other.
Yeah. And I mean, we're making progress slowly but surely. These cases can be so tricky, can't they? And again, it's that collaborative approach that is so vital. So I really appreciate having your eyes on the ground and being able to sort of support the caregiver from where you are.
Absolutely.
Makes a good team. All right, let me get my timer ready.
Okay. This is going to be difficult. 15 minutes.
I know.
Let's do it.
Honestly, I know. The last one we did, we actually ended up, the timer went off and we were like in the middle of like a cliffhanger scenario. So let's see how we do on this one. Okay, I'm going to start the timer, and then whenever you're ready, Hayley, just let me know what question you have. All righty, here we go.
Okay, so this is relating to my own dog. Okay, I've got loads of other cases I could talk about, but this is relating to my own dog. So I've got a dog with, she's itchy, basically. I think she's got atopic dermatitis, but she is itchy, and she has been itchy for years. And now I feel like it's affecting her personality. I feel like she's losing her zest for life. I won't even go into all the things that we've tried. We have tried. I'll just quickly, we've tried Apoquel and Cytopoint and Cyclovance and lotions and potions and so much. This dog has got her own dermatologist. I've tried, but it's getting worse. And now I really feel like it's affecting her personality. So my question was, so just to say that she's been on a high dose of Piriton for the last couple of weeks, I feel that has had a positive effect. Okay. I feel the itching has definitely reduced. So my question was, because I heard about this medication in one of your recent, it wasn't a podcast, it was some sort of webinar thing that you did on medication. My question is, would something like Doxepin, because it's got that histamine blocker, be suitable for potentially, as for trying for Noodle, even though I feel like what I've read about it is that it's more to do with itching that's caused by a psychological issue. But now I feel like it's the other way round. I feel like the itching is causing so I just wanted to ask you that question, really.
What a great question. Oh, what a great question. And yeah, it's going to be an interesting one to unpick, I think. So I think from the rationale of thinking about it, I completely understand your sort of line of thinking. Of course, oftentimes when we have itchy dogs, pruritic dogs, histamine is a big piece in that. And so targeting histamine receptors and Doxepin. So Doxepin is a tricyclic antidepressant. So it sits in the same family as the tricyclic antidepressant. So same family as clomipramine, which we know is Clomicalm, amitriptyline, and a few others. But the difference that Doxepin has, that it targets two different types of histamine receptors. So the H1 and the H2 receptor. So that is the kind of the rationale behind the thinking. And Doxepin has in the past been used quite successfully for things like acrylic dermatitis, which is where you're thinking, I think, or the information that you've received in terms of, there being a primary psychiatric disorder, abnormal repetitive behavior that then causes a skin issue. So that's probably where we would also have maybe used that. Now, I think when I was thinking of Noodle, of your doggy, I think about the kind of, is it, chicken and egg scenario.
Yeah.
So obviously the itchy skin that's making her depressed. And then we have this dog that's a little bit sad and she's just uncomfortable and, withdrawn. And like you say, she's losing her zest for life. But I think until we get that itch under control, it's going to be difficult to change her mood. And here comes the question as to whether Doxepin is the right medication or not, because the tricyclic antidepressants can sometimes be what we call a little bit flattening. So they can kind of almost depress mood. And the histamine receptors are responsible for that to some degree, because histamine, and you know this yourself, right? If we're taking antihistamines, they can sometimes be drowsy or cause drowsiness.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so I guess my concern is that if we hit the histamine receptors hard with a Doxepin, we might make her even more drowsy.
Okay. So, I mean, in terms of, and actually, because she's been on Piriton for about a week and a half now.
Yeah.
And I put her on maximum dose Piriton because that is the only thing that will slightly reduce the itch. But actually, I'd probably say it is in the last 2 weeks that I've probably noticed. I feel like she's now becoming more and more withdrawn. And I guess she has been gradually becoming more withdrawn. She doesn't want to play, and I feel like it's all because playing has hurt her in the past. Things are painful, and she doesn't want to do it. And she had a reprieve with her paws months and months ago. I don't know why. And her personality changed. She was happy. She was barking at dogs. She wanted to play. So actually, now thinking about it, have I targeted the itch but made her a bit slow and sleepy and a bit down? So
could be. And the only way we would know that is if we stop the Piriton and see what happens, right? If she gets a little bit more of a spark back.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that would be the first thing to do, I think, is sorry, go ahead.
No. I was just going to say, so that's another thing that I haven't really
layer on top of layer.
Layer on top of layer, absolutely.
Talking
of layers, I've got leggings on her, I've got some new boots, and I'm just
I get it. So, and then we come back to and I know you said you didn't want to talk about atopic dermatitis, but then we come back to how can we get her atopic dermatitis under control better. Has she seen a veterinary dermatologist, an actual specialist?
Yes, she has. She has. Okay. She has been 3 times, and she ended up taking cyclovans or cyclosporin, whatever it's called, and it wasn't having enough of an effect for them to leave her on it, because obviously it's quite a harsh drug. And then she got really ill, and they weren't sure whether that had caused it. So they just took her off it, and the only other option was immune modulating, or which apparently has only got like a 50%
Yeah.
success rate. It can take a long time. And she wasn't as bad then as she is now. So I think we just thought, okay, let's just manage it topically and, you know, with all the other things. But it's getting worse. It's all the way up her legs now. It was her feet. Now she's nibbling all the way up. And like I say, she's lost fur. I'm trying to restore that. So yeah, it's
how was she on Apoquel?
Again, didn't really make much difference, but I would be willing to try that again, because she is, I feel like maybe I need to go back to the beginning, rather than discount everything she's tried before and think, right, what else is there? You know, I want to try this and maybe go back to the beginning and try some of those medications again, potentially.
Yeah. And the Cytopoint injections, how did they do for her?
They didn't do anything.
Okay.
She had 2, because they said she needed 2 before they made a decision. She had 2 of those, and they didn't do anything.
Okay, it's interesting, and that's quite common with Cytopoint. Some dogs will respond super well, and others won't respond well at all. Apoquel seems to be quite a consistent anti-itch medication. It does really well. And then you mentioned the hypersensitizing vaccines that you can have, right? Those immune modulating things.
Yeah.
And you're right, they don't work in all cases. 50% is probably correct. But when they do work, they can work astoundingly well.
Wow. Yeah.
So that might be something that you have a chat to the dermatologist about again, because it actually it addresses the cause of the problem rather than just putting out the itch fire, right?
Absolutely.
It addresses the immune response that she has to whatever allergen she's allergic to. And then obviously things like food trials. So in atopic dermatitis, only about 25% of dogs, so only about a quarter of those dogs have a food allergy. I mean, whether she is one of those, 25% would be worth thinking about again as well.
Yeah, I mean, oh my gosh, I spent, I think it was 6 weeks on hydrolyzed food, and wow, that it didn't make any difference. And she did not want to eat it, and I became so creative. I mean, I was baking it, to change the consistency. I was hiding it in little brown bags, and I was acting like she'd stumbled across some illegal stash, and I was going, no, and she was scoffing it really quickly. So, but all these things just worked for about 2 or 3 days, and then I had to come up with something else.
Oh my Lord. Yeah. Bless her. Yeah. So I mean, okay, so the food side of things you guys have trialed, but I would go back to the drawing board. I would go and see your veterinary dermatologist again. And I'm going to say this with a huge amount of controversy behind it, and I know, and I'm probably going to get berated for saying it, but sometimes when they're really bad like this, a short course of steroids can actually be really helpful just to make them comfy. Yeah,
she's on steroids.
Okay.
But she's on a low dose, and I've got an appointment with the primary vet again this week, because she's due a meds review, and I just wonder whether just whapping that up for a little bit. I just want her to be less itchy and less sad for now, and then maybe we get on top of it. So, and I mean, yeah. And
I think, the steroid side of things, it's controversial. Nobody wants long-term steroids for their pets. We don't either. And I see steroids a little bit as like a rescue thing. If she's on a regime that's keeping her itch controlled relatively well, and then if she has a flare up, then we can use a short course of steroids to get on top of that flare up.
Yeah.
Rather than having a low dose of steroids on board constantly, that's just like not really doing enough.
Yeah, I get it. No, I agree. I take steroids myself. I've just had a steroid injection because I've got rheumatoid arthritis.
Yeah.
I don't take them long term, but when I struggle, I get an injection of it, and then I'm like, woohoo, let's go.
Exactly. And that's what steroids are so great for, right? Like in the moment, an acute remedy for a big flare up where either the person or the animal is really struggling. So that's what I would tend to use the steroids for. So maybe go back to your primary care vet, discuss with them again, and maybe go back to the veterinary dermatologist and just say, you know, you've tried lots of different things and you want to start from scratch.
Yeah,
and honestly, in terms of mood, the Piriton's the first thing we're going to do, is see if we can get her off the Piriton. But in terms of mood, I think the thing that will make the biggest change to her mood will be reducing her itch levels, not getting her on a psychopharm.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Okay. No, that's really, really helpful.
And then what about shampoos and topical stuff? What are you guys doing?
So I use the Duo-Ox or the Duox. Yeah. So I never know how to say it. So I put that on. I put that on pretty much daily. I've run out, but I've got some more coming tomorrow. And then I shampoo once a week with either Mariseb or the one vet told me that's a bit drying, so to use the Duo-Ox, so whatever it is.
I
know. To use that once a week instead. So I've got some of that coming, but yeah. So I do try and keep up with the topical stuff.
Yeah, that's brilliant. And essential oils, essential fatty acids, all that kind of stuff.
So in the diet.
Yeah.
So I give her eggs, I give her flax seeds. I've got a coat and skin liquid that I put in there that's full of that kind of stuff. She takes a really good probiotic because I got her stool sample tested a little while ago because I was thinking I need to fix it from the inside, from her immune system. So she's on a 6-month course of that. So yeah, I feel like I'm doing a lot.
Yeah, you're doing great. I think with the essential fatty acids, just speak to the veterinary dermatologist about that again as well, because there is a specific ratio of omega-3 to omega-6 fatty acids that is optimal for anti-inflammatory effects in itchy dogs.
Interesting. I didn't know that. Okay. Yeah, I've made a note
sometimes
of that.
You know, like you say, eggs and flax seeds and the supplements, but there is a specific ratio, and I'm not a dermatologist, so I've no idea. I just know that there is a specific ratio of omega-3 to omega-6 that is ideal for itchy dogs, and your dermatologist will know that.
Fantastic. That's amazing. Yeah, great.
All right, so let me see where we are on time. Oh my God, we've got 1 minute and 20 seconds. Anything else you want to quickly get in that last minute?
What can I get in that minute? Oh, do you know what I wrote down? Can you just really tell me quickly what I can't even say it. Locavet mab?
Who?
Have you heard of that one? It works on the interleukin-3 receptors.
Yeah, isn't that? Hang on. Do
you know what? I wrote it down. I just wrote it down really, really quickly because I was like, just before we spoke. So I was like,
tell me how to spell it. Tell me how to spell it.
LOKIVETMAB.
Locavetamab. Hang on. Let me see what that is. Oh, that's Cytopoint. That's a Cytopoint injection.
Oh, right.
That's the monoclonal antibody. Exactly.
Right. Yeah. I works on the interleukin-3. Right. Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I was thinking that's
our Cytopoint injection.
Right. That makes total sense. Okay. So it's not another one that I can look into. It's this one that she's oh, damn it. No, it's one she's already tried. That's great. Thanks.
I think you've exhausted all of your options. But honestly, you've done a great job. And you know, I love the direction you were thinking in, because it shows me that you've really understood. And there goes our timer. That you've really understood you know what you're trying to target with the different medications. I think, but it's that flattening thing with the histamine. So but keep me posted. Let Ben know how she is when you take her off.
I will, and I'm still working through the psychopharmacology course, which is just awesome. I just keep going back to it when I need to. It's a great learning tool, and it's a great reference point as well. So so that's great. Thanks for that.
Thank you. All right, amazing. So for anybody listening, if you would like to either apply for a 15-minute speed coaching session or book in for a 30-minute vet to vet or vet to pet care professional, I'm going to put both of those links in the show notes for you. And also I'm going to put a link in the show notes for my client handouts ebook, which is being built on day by day. So funny, I'm getting lots of feedback on what are handouts that people are looking for their clients. So I've had a few requests come in to do an add-on on what are behavior medications, just a handout to give to clients so that clients have a bit of a better understanding about what behavior meds are. So I'll put the link in the show notes for you for the ebook and how to apply for a 15-minute speed coaching session, and also how to book a vet to vet or vet to pet care professional consult with me. And then Hayley, before you leave us, do you want to let people know how they can get in touch with you and where they can find you?
Yeah, sure. So my website is www.behavewithhayley.co.uk, and I would love some new followers on Instagram and Facebook. So it's just at Behave with Hayley on Instagram and Facebook. So yeah, all my details to contact me. You can, my phone number, everything, my email address, you'll find it all on the website or all on Instagram or Facebook. So yeah, fantastic.
Perfect. Thank you for that, Hayley, and thanks for coming on and being our second speed coaching person. The first one was a little bit with the guinea pig episode, but was hilarious. Such a great episode. That is episode 103, if anybody wants to go back and listen to that with Victoria. And then I've really enjoyed this one. Actually, I really loved chatting about Doxepin because it's a medication I don't think about that much. So thank you for bringing that up. It's been amazing.
Great. Thank you so much. I loved it. Thanks, Catherine.
Brilliant. My pleasure. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. And I will see you next week for episode 108. Bye for now.